up. So, vlog this week is coming from me walking Bonzo. I thought I'd do a little something just kind of saying, you know, what are we doing, or why are we doing what we're doing, and then what are we going to do. I thought it'd be a good way to kind of get an idea of the future of this segment, I suppose, of this YouTube channel, and what I'm trying to do with the car. So, first part. Now, the why, I suppose, is the bit I think we'll start on. We know this is motorsport related, we know this is YouTube related. We'll get into more of a what down the line. Well, I'll say motorsport, it's also like cycling and fitness and strength stuff, but by the by. So the why. I think there's three areas. Yeah, three areas I think for this. You've got number one, which is the petrol head. You've got number two, which is the historic connection, and then we've also got the future. So, starting at number one, anybody who knows me will tell you I'm an absolute petrol head. I always have been. I grew up around motorbikes, Rossi, Cal Fogarty, and I absolutely love motorbikes. I still do love motorbikes. When I got a bit older, I gravitated towards the 90s Japanese kind of tuning scene. Those 90s awful looking boxes, which are just incredible things. And then into sort of the drifting areas, Gymkhana, while having like a bit of a rally love, and more recently into rallycross, and recently obviously I've done some motorsport journalism, which I wish I could continue. At the minute we're kind of struggling, got a lot of things going on. So it's always been this love of motorsport, but it's never just been this like of motorsport. It's never just been, that I like it compared to something else, or something that necessarily my parents or my family got me into. Motorsport to me was one of two things, and I suppose we could probably put motorsport together with extreme sports. So, snowboarding, skiing, mountain biking, all these other bits, anything that involves speed, basically. It was more than that for me. For me, it was an ultimate sense of freedom. It was what, along with music, kept me alive. Simple as that. And when I look back at motorsport, and more recently we've come into this, really coming close to being, legitimately racing. There's been a lot of emotion brought back. There's been a lot of things I've remembered, and I think that kind of gives a lot as to what the mission is. So, growing up, my upbringing was different to a lot. I was in a religion, in a cult, that was incredibly manipulative, very controlling, very mentally damaging, and there's been a lot of damage caused from that. There's a lot of damage that we're still working on now, even at 36. There's a lot to do. Becoming sober was a big thing, and learning to understand why certain emotions feel like they do. It's been an awful lot. But when I was younger, as a child, as a teenager, when I would look at these people driving these cars, riding these bikes, or even these extreme sports athletes, you could hear the sounds. I could imagine the vibration, the clunk as it went into gear, the smell, especially if I was there on the track. For those couple of minutes, it was literally a couple of minutes. For those couple of minutes, I was free. I wasn't me, I wasn't in this world. And when you are young, you don't have a luxury of being able to fight for yourself. You don't always know why you feel the way you feel, why what is happening around you isn't right. Because all you know is what is happening around you, all you know is what you're told, all you know is what you're controlled by. And that is literally from people like myself, you know, being brought up in these cults, people with abusive family members, you know, sexuality in certain households, things based on race, all sorts, you know, stuff going on through life. And motorsport became the place where I would be free. And ever since then, it's all I've ever dreamed about, really. You know, driving as I got older and I drove myself, driving at night, just escaping. It was the thing, you know. And now I am at a point where, I mean, we're struggling to make it happen. These things, you know, cost money, and with what I'm trying to do, we are struggling. We are looking for brand partners. I'm looking for other avenues of being able to link up with people to make this happen. You know, for instance, I really want to be racing at Blighton in, what will it be now, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Don't think that's going to happen. We're just that little bit too short. And obviously we've got to, you know, secure next year's season. So that is a big thing at the minute they're having to kind of deal with. But yeah, so a big thing was that I wanted to, I know people out there have the same issue, and if I am able to, through motorsport, through doing mountain biking, doing my weightlifting, you know, documenting that and YouTube, if I can allow somebody else to feel freedom for a moment, if I can show to other people that, you know what, one day you're gonna get out of this, you're going to survive. And now, you know, I know people I've got very close to me who are suffering, have suffered, and feel very lonely, you know, and there's certain emotions even as you get older that don't go away. So if we can do something to give an element to somebody, and I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet, and if you've got any suggestions on like kind of content about that, what you like to see, to bring that positivity, to bring that thing, you know, shoot me a DM, let me know, because, you know, I'm taking all ideas in. You know, if we can bring some awareness, if bringing some fundraising through various things, you know, I think that's a good thing. If one person can look at that and they can find enough belief to continue, that's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? You know, what more is there? We're humans at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, that's a big why, you know. The love of motorsport and this wanting to make a difference. I suppose the third thing is why I'm happy that we're partnering with Carbon Positive Motorsport, because, you know, I think moving forward I want to ensure this motorsport and this love continues, but there are things that need to be done. You know, generations before us and our society has issues, and we can make changes while keeping what we do going. So that's a big thing, and that's why we've joined them. So that kind of sums up, I hope, the three whys as to what we're doing. So on to the what. Now, as you all know, the main focus is a rallycross championship with BTIDA Clubman's Rallycross. We have the little green beastie production rallycross car, and you know, it's the perfect thing to get started with. It's a Saxo VTS, and it's a cracking car. We did that autocross racing, which, you know, if you haven't watched it, go watch that vlog of that, because that was absolutely awesome. And you know, that's what we're going to hit. We're going to hit that hopefully full season next year. You know, if we can do time in that, whatever else comes, whatever opportunities we can get, you know, and then obviously progress through the seasons, through the years, You know, there's a lot of ways to go. Rallycross is the most action-packed, the most entertaining, you know, and an incredibly difficult sport, incredibly difficult. And you know, it's the one that I'm hoping we can push, you know, along with stuff in esports, along with cycling and fundraising, mountain biking and what have you, and other things like that, weightlifting. You know, it's a really important thing that's what we're going to try and do, and to utilise YouTube in a positive way and create a narrative on there that can make a difference. Obviously, like I said, we need people to partner with as well to enable this to happen. There's obviously, you know, myself and other things, you know, with my coaching, my weightlifting stuff. I'm getting back into that in order to assist in this. You know, but that's it. That's what the goal is, and I need to get, you know, we're working on a kind of a plan for it, and I'll let you know what these things are, what we're really going to be pushing on that. But you know, I know that there's people out there who are going to love this content, going to love the motorsport, you know, we're going to market to, and there's also people that mentally are going to benefit from it. Bonzi, what are you doing? Randomly sniffing the ground. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope this kind of came over, hoping it's got enough energy. It's a little bit, you know, people, I'm pretty what's the word, eccentric, but when it's a little serious topic, I can, you know, you can struggle a little bit, but we still need to bring that buzz, we still need to bring that energy. So yeah, so there we go, that's what we're planning. BTRDA Rallycross Production Championship. Really want to try and get in as many rounds as we can for the rest of this year, 2022, and then get the full season next year, and then just push and push and push and push and do what we can do and really push the content on the YouTube. You know, there's other things as well that, you know, other little things because we can do to, you know, continue growing the channel, continue reaching new audiences, and also bring other people into this motorsport world. It's you know, and you're probably going to see some of the mountain biking, you're probably going to see some of the bits and pieces, certainly on my social medias, maybe a little bit on this vlog, but we'll see what people want. So yeah, so there it is. Like I say, drop me a message if you get any good ideas, absolutely fire them across, and you know, any way of working together, you know, and anything like that, any sort of fundraising stuff, anything where we can, you know, promote, push and make a difference while, you know, doing this insane adrenaline filled sports. That's the plan. So yeah, stay safe, and I'll catch you a bit of sim racing hopefully with Mr. Andrew. See you later.